Have you ever imagined a world where gasoline vanished overnight? Where highways turned silent, flights were canceled, and cities went dark? That's exactly what happened in the 1970s, when oil, the lifeblood of modern civilization, suddenly ran dry. But how could a single resource bring the entire planet to its knees? Let's rewind the clock. In the early 1970s, the world ran on oil, and most of it came from the Middle East. At that time, the United States and Europe were growing fast. Cars were getting bigger and energy demand was exploding. But the balance of power over oil wasn't in their hands. It belonged to OPEC, a group of oil-producing nations, including Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Iraq. Then came 1973, when several Middle Eastern countries went to war with Israel. The United States and its allies supported Israel. In response, OPEC struck back, not with weapons but with oil. They cut production and banned exports to Western nations. Overnight, oil prices quadrupled. Gas stations ran dry. Drivers waited in line for hours, sometimes days, just to fill their tanks. Streetlights were dimmed. Factories slowed down or closed. Airlines canceled flights. And for the first time, the modern world realized how fragile its energy system truly was. The shock didn't just hit cars and planes, it hit everything. Food prices soared because transporting goods became more expensive. Inflation skyrocketed. Stock markets plunged. Recession followed. Governments panicked. In the U.S., people were told to drive less, turn off lights, and lower thermostats. In Europe and Japan, leaders scrambled to find alternatives, building nuclear plants, investing in public transport, and even setting car-free Sundays. The crisis taught the world a brutal lesson. Energy equals power. And whoever controls the energy controls the world. But that wasn't the end. Just a few years later, in 1979, another oil crisis hit, this time caused by the Iranian Revolution. Oil prices doubled again. Once more, economies crashed, inflation returned, and unemployment rose. By the early 1980s, the world finally began to adapt. Nations diversified energy sources, improved fuel efficiency, and formed strategic oil reserves, safety nets to prevent future chaos. And slowly, the balance of power shifted again. Today, the 1970s oil crisis is remembered not just as an economic disaster, but as a turning point. It changed how nations think about energy, independence, and survival. Because in the end, that crisis proved one simple truth. Civilization doesn't run on money, it runs on energy. And when the fuel stops flowing, the world stops moving.